Hello lovely Simmers, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are doing a farmhouse inspired build. I'm titling this Small Country Farm because it's not a giant house, it only has 2 bedrooms and it's definitely farmhouse-esque, but it's not, you know, like an actual farm. Like there's no animals like we got with Country Living. There's some garden plots out back, but it is pretty tiny, but it is in a farmhouse style, and I'm building it in Brindleton Bay on one of the lots that's up near, it's on the beach side, but it's up in the mountains. And this is my favorite lot to build on. However, it sucks to take screenshots on because there's always plants or trees just sitting in the way of your house. Same thing with uploading houses from this lot onto the gallery. Because of the way they take the gallery pictures, there's always trees just in the way of the front of your house. So it's kind of tricky to build, like to make these houses look good in pictures. But it's such a nice lot because there's like all this landscape, like natural landscape, and all these natural fall trees and stuff. And it was just making me really inspired to build here. I did start building this house right around the time that I started posting videos again. So I did my 2 apartments, and right after I finished that second apartment, I started building this house. So probably about a week and a half ago, I finished building it and I had all the footage and the screenshots, but then my sister came into town to visit me for my birthday and for an early Thanksgiving, so I never finished editing the video. It kind of was just sitting here on my computer. That is also why I didn't have 2 videos up this week. My sister was here for the first couple of days. She flew in on Saturday and she just left on Tuesday, so that is why there's only 1 video this week. But hopefully, I haven't gotten to see her in like 6 months, and me and her were always really close, so I'm really happy that I got to see her, and then she got to come out and we did a little bit of like a belated birthday for me and like an early Thanksgiving. We went out a lot. We went to a bunch of different restaurants, but we're both restaurant employees, so we tend to do that a lot anyway. We also drank a lot of wine, which you all know. I have before done tipsy voiceovers on my videos. You know I enjoy my wine, so we did partake in a couple of different wine drinkings. We went to this small town in San Diego where we went to some wineries and we got to taste some of the wines that they were producing. So that was a lot of fun. It was a small town, kind of reminded me of my hometown, so it was nice to, you know, get to sit down and be in like the fresh air, not in the city and stuff like that. So that was what I did with my sister, but now we are back and we are building this farmhouse. So the outside is white brick and white siding with some black roofs and warm wood toned like flooring, and I also did warm wood tone for the fence as well, and I used the fence from the new Cottage Living pack. Yeah, that's what it's called. I used the fence from that one because I thought it looked the most rustic, and I was having an issue with my debug. So I don't know if I was typing things wrong or if I hadn't done this in a while, so I forgot what I was doing, but my debug like was not working. I didn't have any of the fences, I barely had any of the plants, and I was sitting there and I was like, why isn't this working? I don't understand. I do this all the time. And eventually I got it to work. As you can see, I am using a whole bunch of the debug plants, which, you know, I just prefer to do. They have darker tones to them. They're a little bit richer in texture, and they just kind of fit, especially in Brindleton Bay, they kind of just fit the world a little bit better. But we are going to be doing just some brief landscaping. I'm using some plants from the debug of Cottage Living, as well as debug base game. I really like a lot of the plants that came with Cottage Living. I think that they're just enough of an overgrown style that it fits with farmhouse style builds, but they're not too overgrown to make it look like the people don't care about their landscaping. And I was initially going to leave the floor plan in this video. As you can see, we did jump ahead and the floor plan is done. But when I was editing, I accidentally there was 2 separate videos, one of the inside and one of the outside, and I accidentally put 2 outside videos next to each other instead of one of each. And it told me that the video was going to be almost 30 minutes long, and I was like, oh crap, I can't leave the floor plan in there because it's going to be too long. So I took out the floor plan, and then I realized my mistake and did the second video that was supposed to be a part of this and not the original, and it ended up only being this 15-minute long video. And I was like, I probably could have left the floor plan in, but I never do, so I feel like you guys don't expect it from me. But let me know in the comments down below if you want me to start leaving the floor plan in. I did really like how I floor planned this house, which is why I was going to leave it in. As you can see, I have this exposed beam that kind of separates this wooded area from the tile area, and that is separating this front entrance and dining area from the kitchen. And by this front entrance, we are using my favorite cats and dogs table. It looks like a version of the woodworking bench. It looks very rustic, very used, and it comes in a whole bunch of different wood tones, but I used this one because it kind of matched the floor, but it wasn't too matchy that you couldn't tell the difference. And then over here, we are going to be doing the dining room. I didn't have a good place to put the dining room besides over here in this corner, and at first I thought it was going to look a little weird, like it was just going to be this random area, but I end up doing this like built-in style shelving. And I do it by combining some countertops and some cabinets. You'll see me start to do this in a minute. And that kind of fills in the space enough that it makes it look like the house was designed for the dining room table to be here, not just that the family decided that's where it had to go because they didn't have anywhere else to put it. So I start by using I believe this is the country kitchen kit. No, this is the cottage living. So I have the parenthood on top and then the cottage living down below, but I do end up switching it to the country kitchen kit because I wanted a warmer tone, because it looked super stark and weird having the warm tone of the wood on the bottom of like the floor and then having this white stark wood tone on these cabinets. So as you can see, I do end up changing them, and I get rid of the yellow because I didn't like how the yellow looked, and I use these ones from Country Kitchen Kit, and I flip them around because your sim isn't going to be using these, so it doesn't matter if they're flipped the right way or not. And then I also have like a seating area, but in between the two benches, that's like a window seat, but I do end up changing what's there because I didn't think that this quite matched it either because of how white it was, so I do end up switching it to these ones that have more of like a wooden base. But then I'm using the Seasons table, and I'm using it in this nice warm brown tone, and I'm adding a couple of different plants. These are all from the new plant kit because I love these plants and I haven't gotten to use all of them yet, except for, I mean, I did my plant lover's apartment, but I'm still so obsessed with them that I just keep using them over and over again. But in here is the kitchen. Now, as you can see, I was just talking about how I didn't like how the stark white was so different from the warm tones in the dining room. I do end up changing this a little bit. I had the idea to do two-toned kitchen because I personally really like two-toned kitchens, you know, where the counters, where the sink and the stove are like a green, or they're like a stark white, but then everything else is a warm tone or a bright color, or depending upon how you like your stuff. So I wanted to do, the base was a stark white, and then there was warm brown accents to kind of bring in the dining and living room area into the kitchen. So I'm using these, what is this pack called? Oh my god, the Jungle Adventure Pack. I'm using the Jungle Adventure Pack countertops and cabinets, and I'm using the countertops in the white wood and white slate top, and then I'm using the cabinets in this kind of warm but not super dark wood tone because it matched the Snowy Escape counters that I was using for the center. What is that? The island. That's what it's called. Sorry, I've had a long day. I've been cleaning my apartment all day, so my brain is a little frazzled. But we have the island in the Snowy Escape countertops, which is in the same color wood as the cabinet, so it kind of brings that color into the rest of the kitchen. And then also the handles on this white counters are about the same color, so it ends up kind of bringing everything together, and it makes it, I don't know, it makes it just a little different than what I usually do, because I usually do kitchens all in the same color. So I really liked adding a little bit of diversity to it and doing things a little differently, but also being able to keep the nice brown tones that I had been using in the rest of the build. Now over here is the living room. It is separated from the rest of the house, and it has this giant fireplace from Cottage Living. And I didn't show you guys me placing the fireplace because I ended up having to extend this room because it was a little narrow to fit anything. I didn't think the Sims would be able to walk. I'm still not 100% sure. I have to do a whole lot of play testing with this room, but basically it's just a simple living room. I'm using the white couch from Cottage Living because I don't think I've ever used this couch because I didn't like it when it first came out, but now I definitely think it has its place in the game. I wish we had gotten something that was a little bit more cozy, you know, had some pillows on it, more along the lines of the couch we got with cats and dogs. But I do like this couch. Like I said, I think it has its own place in the game. And I'm pairing it with the Dream Home Decorator chairs because they have the wood tone that I've been using, and then they have the white from the couch, so it kind of just flows together. And it also kind of brings in that whole modern aspect, which could mean that this home used to be owned by the parents of this couple, and now they're owned by the couple, and the couple's trying to bring their own taste into it or something. I always like to do that a little bit to give your Sims, if you decide to download this home, a little bit more space and decision making in decorating these homes. And then I'm also adding an art easel, which you saw, and then this chess table over here. And then for some finishing touches, I'm going to add some curtains on all the windows in this room. And then we're going upstairs to the master bedroom. So I am using the Eco Lifestyle bed. We all know I love this bed. I usually use it in the red tone, but because I have blue on the walls, I decided to use this light blue. And it also had a really nice warm brown wood tone to it as the base, so I thought that that matched the rest of the home really well. And then I'm using some Dream Home Decorator side tables and then some lamps from Cottage Living just to add a little bit of pizzazz over the end tables. I like to do that every now and again. It doesn't, as long as the lamps aren't super long, it does not block your Sims from getting into the bed, and it just kind of adds a little bit of extra something to make sure that your Sim, like, it's not too bare. And then over here we have the dresser with a mirror. It's very simple, very basic, but I didn't want to overcrowd that area because I wanted to make sure your Sims could reach the dresser. And then we have the chair that I always like to add as though the Sims were sitting down putting on their shoes, which we all know they don't do, but we can pretend. And then in here is the ensuite bathroom for this bedroom. It has a shower bath combo. It's just the base game one, it's nothing too fancy, and then a sink, and then a toilet over here by the door. It's a very odd shape, but it ends up working out okay, so everything is functional in there, so I think it's okay. And then in here is the hallway bathroom, and this is also technically the guest bathroom because there is no bathroom downstairs, so it's a little inconvenient, but I think it works. It's a very simple bathroom. It just has a sink, a toilet, and a shower. And that's also the bathroom I imagined the child using. Now this room I decorated for a child. It could also be used for a teenager if you just switch out some of the toys and stuff so for some more teenage interactions. But I am using one of the bunk beds from Dream Home Decorator and then the desk from Eco Lifestyle. And I'm doing this in kind of like a warm orange and reddish tone with some gray accents, just because I thought that the bed matched the style of downstairs, and since I was decorating this for a kid, I thought that they probably didn't have as much say over their bedroom as much yet, so they had a lot of stuff that was similar to the rest of the home. And then I'm adding a couple of different kids decorations and kids activities, such as the dollhouse and the art bench, and then just a couple more pictures on the walls to make sure everything is cohesive and filled. And then out here on the back patio, I am putting another fireplace. I did see an inspiration picture for this where there was an outdoor fireplace because the home was somewhere that got really cold, and I'm kind of missing the seasons right now, so I did decide that this home was going to be like that. So I did add the outdoor fireplace with the seating area, and then we're just doing a couple of garden planters, a swing set for the children or for the child, a flower set and a bee set, and then we are going to be adding a trash can and a mailbox. But besides that, that is it for this build, so I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!